Welcome to the Ogden Botanical Garden. My name is Jerry Goodspeed, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about one of the problems that we have here in the Intermountain area, and that's iron chlorosis. Iron chlorosis is a problem because we try to grow plants that like a more acidic soil and like to be in a different climate, mostly soil, than what we grow them in. For instance, this Tanyoshio pine here, you can see that it turns a little bit yellow. Okay, a lot of it yellow. And a lot of that is just from the iron chlorosis that we have. It should be a nice green color, really deep. You can also see that we've only got about 2 or 3 years of needles on here. All of that is mostly due to the iron chlorosis. Trying to grow some of these species that don't love our area in our area. And we're trying to convince them they do like it. And there are some other species that'll always be really green, that are not iron deficient, adapt well to our soils. But every once in a while, Tanyoshio pine, some of the other white pines, of course quakeys, peach trees, rhodies, azaleas, those types of things really don't like it here because of our high pH. They like a low pH that gives them iron chlorosis. So what we try to do at the Botanical Garden is we want to grow some of these plants because we like the look of them when they look normal. I mean, when they're not all yellow. So what we try to do is apply some iron. We can't really change the soil pH to lower it so that it would like it. You know, we can put up some rainforest pictures around it, but it still thinks it's in Utah. So what we try to do is add iron to the soil before it starts to bud out and grow in the spring, about now, and it's about mid-March. They're not growing yet, but I can see that the buds, if you look real close, are starting to swell just a little bit. It's time to put down iron. And we will put down a chelated iron, a good iron. It's a little bit more expensive, and there's 2 or 3 products out there that are good chelated iron products. There's also some really cheap products out there that don't work. And you've probably heard the old tale about throwing a bunch of nails in the ground around the tree to add iron. It really doesn't work. All it does is just frustrate those with metal detectors. So don't do that. It doesn't help at all. You want to go down to the store and get a really good iron, a chelated iron. And as I say, they're a little more expensive, but they are well worth it because they'll actually work. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour this iron around this tree, and we're going to pour it right around the drip level. And what I've done previously is I've taken our iron product, and this is a Grow More iron product, chelated iron product. And for this size of a shrub, I've put about 3 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of materials into my container, my 5-gallon bucket. And then I filled it about half the way up with water. And I have just a nice mixture here. And this particular mixture I'm just going to pour right around the drip line, about 2 or 3 feet out from the base of the plant, and I'm just going to pour it right in the soil. And it'll just soak in, and the roots will find it, and it'll be great. This is what that iron product will look like. And you can see that it's really red. Kind of looks like blood. It's not, but it does look like blood. And I'm here to tell you it'll stain anything. It'll stain your clothes. It'll stain your driveway. It'll stain your pet dog if it gets too close. So be careful with it, and just apply it around the tree. And don't mix it up in the garage or the kitchen floor. Not that you would ever do that, but just be very careful because it does stain. And then I will just take any stick. You can just see this old piece of bamboo that I found and mix it up really good. And it doesn't take much. It's very it'll dissolve very quickly. And now I've got my slurry there. And what I'm going to do with this slurry is just pour it around the tree. All right, we've got it mixed up. It's time to apply it. There's a couple of tricks. You don't want to just splash it down there because it kind of kicks back on you. And as I said, it will stain about anything. So what I found, what I do anyway, is I will just get right down on the ground like this and just pour it real slow as I'm working my way around the shrub or tree, as this case is. And if I'm very careful with it, I can just apply it right to the ground without getting any on me. Just like this. And it'll soak right in. And if you're applying it to turf, in other words, if your turf comes up a little bit around here, it'll turn the turf a little bit off color for about a day, and that's it. Don't worry about it. And you'll actually get to know if your turf's iron chlorosis or chlorotic, because it'll green right up as well. That's all there is to it. Just work your way around the tree or shrub in a nice little pattern around it. Water it in, or sometimes you'll want to do this right before a snowstorm or a rainstorm, and it'll push that iron right through, and you're good to go. The tree should show a little bit better color this year. One thing about this iron is and one of the reasons why it's expensive is it's pretty much the same chemical properties as a lot of people take as iron supplements, which will tell you it's not very toxic, if it's toxic at all. So don't worry about your pets, don't worry about yourself. As I say, it's used as a supplement to a lot of diets. It'll just stain. That's probably the worst thing about it, is it's staining. And try to make sure you get it all the way around the plant, because you want all of those roots to get as much of that iron as you possibly can. There we go.